In the spotlight tonight is Richard Green from the Isle of Man, an animal technician, and his specialist subject is Sir Richard Goodwin Keats. Sally Budd from Crawley, a customer accounts manager, and her subject, Bette Davis. Andrew Grealey from Haywood in Lancashire, a welfare rights officer, whose subject is the American Revolution. And Laura Campbell from Bolton, a postgraduate student, and her subject is Douglas Adams. Hello, I'm John Humphreys, and welcome to Mastermind, where the rules never change. Each contender has 2 minutes on a subject of their choice, then another 2 minutes on general knowledge questions. And I'll be interrogating them in our famous black chair to discover how much they can remember under the pressure of the clock. Tonight's winner will go through to the next stage and be in with a chance of taking home this prize. More importantly, the great honour of becoming Mastermind champion. So let's have our first contender, please. And your name is?
Richard Green.
Your occupation?
Animal technician.
And your chosen subject?
Life and career of Sir Richard Goodwin Keats.
In 2 minutes, starting now. On which ship did Richard Goodwin Keats begin his naval service under Captain John Montague?
Pass.
Who was the captain of the Revolutionaire, which was cut off from the refuge of Brest Harbour in October 1794 by a squadron that included the Galatea?
Daigle.
Thévenard. On the 12th of July 1801, who ordered Keats to pursue part of Linois and Moreno's Franco-Spanish fleet?
James de Saumarez.
Yes. Keats captained which ship that was part of Nelson's fleet off Toulon in May 1803?
Superb 74.
Correct. In September 1798, through which passage off Brest did he spot French expeditionary forces trying to steal out?
Grealey.
Passage du Raz. Which rank did Keats hold in 1821 when he was appointed as Governor of the Royal Hospital, Greenwich?
Vice Admiral.
Yes, in 1801, Keats simultaneously attacked the Real Carlos and which other Spanish ship, causing such confusion that they fired on each other?
The San Juan Gildo.
Yes, at which battle, fought on the 6th of February 1806, did Keats begin the action by firing on the Alexandra?
Santo Domingo.
Correct. Keats was flag captain to which vice admiral in December 1805 during the chase of French ships sighted between Madeira and the Canaries?
Sir John Duckworth.
Correct. On board which ship was Keats serving when he first visited Newfoundland in 1776 with Governor John Montague?
Pass.
Which French port was blockaded by a squadron under Keats from where the gunship Mars sighted returning enemy ships in the summer of 1806?
Brest.
Rochefort. Keats' lifelong friendship with the future King William IV began while he was serving on which ship from June 1779?
Prince George.
Correct. Who was in command of the Navy during the Walcheren expedition of 1809 when British forces hoped to seize Antwerp?
That was Duckworth.
No, Sir Richard Strachan. In 1808, Keats was made a knight of which order following a brilliant series of actions in Danish waters?
Bath.
Yes, on the 27th of July 1778, Keats was a lieutenant on board which ship? I'll finish the question. When he took part in the naval action off Ushant Island?
Roebuck.
No, Ramillies. You had 2 passes. Keats began his naval service on the Bellona, and the ship on which he was serving when he first went to Newfoundland was the Romney. So, those 2 passes, Richard Green, 8 points.
Thank you.
And our next contender, please. And your name is?
Sally Budd.
Your occupation?
Customer accounts manager.
And your chosen subject?
The life and career of Bette Davis.
Bette Davis in 2 minutes. In which film does Bette Davis wear an inappropriate red dress to the all-white Olympus Ball?
Jezebel.
Correct. What title did Davis's daughter give to the memoir she published in 1985, which is a devastating account of life with her mother?
My Mother's Keeper.
Correct. In which play by Martin Flavin did Bette Davis make her Broadway debut in November 1929?
Broken Dishes.
Yes. In which city in Massachusetts was she born?
Lowell.
Yes. Who directed Davis in the 1934 film of Human Bondage, which made her a star?
John Powell.
John Cromwell. Which celebrated dancer and choreographer taught her dance while she was a student at the John Murray Anderson Drama School in New York?
Martha Davis.
Martha Graham. When Davis placed an ad in the Situations Wanted section of the Hollywood Reporter, how many years' experience did she state she'd had as an actress in motion pictures?
30.
Yes. In which film starring Davis as a hedonistic heiress does Ronald Reagan have a supporting role as a carefree playboy?
Dark Victory.
Yes. With whom did Davis co-write her second volume of memoirs, This and That, published in 1987?
Catherine Cermak.
Michael Herskovitz. Which Spanish film festival, where she was honoured for her lifetime achievements, did the ailing Davis attend in September 1989, only a few weeks before she died in Paris?
San Sebastian.
Correct. What's the title of the last film she appeared in, though she walked out before it was completed?
Wicked Stepmother.
Yes. In which state, where no waiting period was required for a marriage licence, did Davis marry the first of her 4 husbands, Ham Nelson?
Arizona.
Correct. What's the title of the only film produced by Davis which was released in 1946?
A Stolen Life.
Yes. Whom did Davis succeed when she became the first female president of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences in October 1941?
Darryl Zanuck.
Walter Wanger. Which novelist wrote the screenplay for the film The Catered Affair, based on a play by Paddy Chayefsky?
W.M. Orty.
Gore Vidal. What was the name of the club off Sunset Boulevard, which was co-founded by Davis to provide entertainment and social activities for servicemen during the Second World War?
Hollywood Canteen.
Correct. In which film does Davis... I've started, so I'll finish. In which film does Davis famously say, "Jerry, don't let's ask for the moon, we have the stars"?
Now Voyager.
Now Voyager is correct. No passes. Sally Budd, you have 12 points. And our next contender, please. And your name is?
Andrew Grealey.
Occupation?
Welfare rights worker.
And your chosen subject?
The American Revolution.
The American Revolution in 2 minutes. According to Ralph Waldo Emerson, where was the shot heard around the world fired in April 1775, which signalled the start of the Revolutionary War?
Lexington Green.
Concord. What name is generally given to the document drawn up by John Dickinson and approved by Congress in July 1775, seeking compromise with Britain rather than conflict?
The Olive Branch Petition.
Correct. Which British warship was captured by John Paul Jones in September 1779 during an engagement in which Jones made the retort, "Sir, I have not yet begun to fight"?
The HMS Serapis.
Correct. On July the 2nd, 1776, which of the 13 colonies was the only one to abstain from the vote in Congress in support of the resolution for independence?
North Carolina.
New York. Which Prussian soldier helped to drill American troops into a formidable fighting force during their winter quartered at Valley Forge?
That would be Baron von Steuben.
Yes. Who wrote the pamphlet Common Sense in 1776, which helped change American attitudes to the idea of armed resistance?
Tom Paine.
Yes. Where did more than 5,000 Americans surrender in May 1780 after being besieged by Lieutenant General Clinton's troops?
Charleston.
Yes. Which future Chief Justice of the Supreme Court was a member of the 3-man American delegation to the Paris peace talks in 1782?
Franklin.
John Jay. Which Polish military engineer directed the fortifications of both Philadelphia and West Point, the latter being called the American Gibraltar?
Kosciuszko.
Yes. In which battle of September 1781 did American troops under Major General Nathaniel Greene attack a British encampment on the south bank of the Santee River?
Charleston.
Eutaw Springs. The New England Restraining Act of 1775 forbade certain American colonies from trading with anybody other than Britain. And which other British colony?
Pass.
In 1779, where did George Washington set up winter camp for his troops in conditions of cold and hunger that caused near mutiny?
Valley Forge.
Morristown. Who commanded the victorious American troops at the Battle of Cowpens? I'll finish the question. In January 1781, a defeat which destroyed the myth of Lieutenant Colonel Barnestrid Tarleton's invincibility. Take a guess at it.
I can't.
All right.
My mind's gone blank.
Well, that happens. I'll tell you, it was Brigadier General Daniel Morgan. And the colony in question, the British colony, was West Indies. 2 passes, Andrew Grealey, 6 points.
Thanks very much.
And our final contender, please. And your name is?
Laura Campbell.
Your occupation?
I'm a graduate student.
And your chosen subject?
The life and works of Douglas Adams.
Douglas Adams in 2 minutes. In which television series did Douglas Adams make 2 fleeting appearances in 1974, first as a doctor and then as part of a group of old ladies?
Monty Python's Flying Circus.
Yes. What was the title of the 1976 Cambridge Footlights Review which Adams was invited to direct?
Beyond the Fringe.
A Kick in the Stalls. According to the Hitchhiker's Guide, what's the best way to get a drink out of a Vogon?
Stick your finger down his throat.
Yes. In which comic did the 12-year-old Adams have a short story published about a man who wishes to report the loss of his memory?
The Eagle.
Yes. In 1985, Adams was sent to Madagascar by the World Wildlife Fund in an attempt to film which rare animal for an article for the Observer magazine?
The ring-tailed lemur, I think.
Now, the ii. To which California town did Douglas and his family move in 1999 so that he could work on the screenplay for The Hitchhiker's Guide?
Santa Barbara.
Correct. According to Dirk Gently, when he rings Richard Macduff at Susan's flat, what is the first rule of housebreaking?
Never answer the phone when you're in the middle of a job.
Yes. Whom did Adams approach to be his first agent? Largely because she already represented members of the Monty Python team.
Jane Belson.
Jill Foster. What was the name of the 1990 BBC documentary in which Adams and Tom Baker took a look into the future of information technology?
Hyperland.
Correct. Which employee of Infocom co-authored The Hitchhiker's Guide Computer's Game with Adams?
John Lloyd.
Steve Moretsky. With which rock band did Douglas Adams make a guest appearance playing a guitar solo at Earl's Court on the 28th of October 1994?
Pink Floyd.
Correct. According to Life, the Universe and Everything, which game consists of 2 teams hitting each other with whatever comes to hand and then apologising afterwards?
Brookie and Ultra Cricket.
Yes. With which zoologist did Adams travel to find endangered animals such as the Rodriguez fruit bat and the kakapo parrot for the radio series Last Chance to See?
Mark Carwadine.
Yes. What was the title of the first Doctor Who script written by Adams to be televised?
The Pirate Planet.
Correct. According to the Hitchhiker's Guide, what was the meaning of the last message that the dolphins delivered shortly before the Earth was destroyed by the Vogons?
So long and thanks for all the fish.
Yes. What was the name of the Dutch cartoon series for which Adams and John Lloyd provided 2 scripts in 1978?
Dr. Snuggles.
Correct. Out of time, no passes. Laura Campbell, 12 points. So that's the specialist round. Let's have a look at the scores. In 4th place with 6 points, Andrew Grealey. 3rd place with 8 points, Richard Green. In joint 1st place with 12 points apiece, Sally Budd and Laura Campbell. So on to round 2 now, the general knowledge round. And let me ask Andrew Grealey to join us again, if he would, please. And you are a welfare rights officer.
I am.
And I wonder whether your job is made a bit more difficult than it might otherwise be, because so many people seem to think that people on welfare are sort of automatically scroungers. Do you have that problem?
I don't particularly, because my job mainly these days is specialising with elderly and disabled people, and it's part of my job to check that they're on the right amount of benefit so that they can afford the charges that the council has to levy.
But is there, do you think, a problem with the perception of welfare? Let me put it like that.
For a lot of the older people particularly, the attitude tends to be, we had it rough in the war, this isn't so bad really, I can manage.
Even though they're entitled to more money than they're getting?
Yes. I tend to use my experience and say to them, and I also use my own disability, and say to them, look, I'm entitled to benefits, I claim a benefit, and I paid my taxes so that people can claim the benefits. When you were working, you paid your taxes so that people can get the benefits, and usually that approach works with people.
Right, well, let's see how you do with general knowledge. 2 minutes starting now. Which make of motor scooter takes its name from the Italian for wasp?
Vespa.
Yes. Which country's capital and principal port was founded by the Norseman Ingolfur Arnason in 874?
Iceland.
Yes. What is the more familiar name of trimethylxanthine, which has a stimulating effect on the body and is found in cola nuts, cacao, tea and coffee?
Caffeine.
Yes. Which playground game is known as Janken Po in Japan and Schnick, Schnack, Schnuck in Germany?
Hopscotch.
Scissors, paper, stone. Which Roman god is traditionally said to have taught men to collect honey and make wine?
Oh, Medea.
Bacchus. The third battle of Ypres, fought between July and November 1917, is sometimes known by the name of which ridge and village whose capture was one of the main objectives?
Vimy.
Passchendaele. Which novel, originally published in 1914, tells of a year in the lives of a group of painters and decorators in the town of Mugsborough?
Pass.
Found mainly in the fens, what is the largest species of butterfly native to Britain?
Red Admiral.
Swallowtail. Which England international footballer has the actual forenames Solskjaer Jeremiah?
Sol Campbell.
Correct. Which scientific hoax was perpetrated by the amateur geologist Charles Dawson in 1912 but accepted as genuine until 1953?
Piltdown Man.
Yes, the Italian dish bresaola consists of which meat dried and served with a lemon juice dressing?
Veal.
Beef. Which entertainer was on board a flight bound for Paris that took off from Twinwood Airfield in Bedfordshire on the 15th of December 1944 and was never heard of again?
Glenn Miller.
Correct. By what name is Thomas Gainsborough's portrait of Jonathan Buttall, the son of a successful ironmonger, generally known?
Bubbles.
The Blue Boy. Which prison, built by convicts in Victorian times, is situated in the London borough of Hammersmith and Fulham?
Wormwood Scrubs.
Correct. Which right-wing society, founded in 1958, is named after an American intelligence officer killed by Chinese communist forces in 1945?
Pass.
The major orchestral works of which German composer who died in Vienna in 1897 include 4 symphonies, I'll finish the question, 2 piano concertos, a violin concerto and a double concerto for violin and cello?
Bruckner.
Brahms. You had 2 passes there. The John Birch Society was that right-wing
Yes.
society, founded in 58, and the novel The Ragged-Trousered Philanthropist, which you'll also know now.
Yes, indeed. Thank you.
Thank you. 2 passes. Andrew Grealey, 13 points.
Thanks a lot.
And now Richard Green, if he would join us, please. And you've chosen a subject that I'm prepared to bet many people have never heard of. That is Sir Richard Goodwin Keats, but a terribly successful sailor. Second only to Nelson, perhaps?
Perhaps so, yes. Nelson certainly thought very highly of him.
One of the remarkable, interesting things, anyway, about Keats is that his great battle, perhaps the thing for which he's most remembered, was an accident, really.
What appears to have happened, and accounts differ, he snuck up at night between 2 Spanish ships, fired at one of them, who blindly fired off in panic in all directions, some of the shot hitting the other Spanish ship, who thought they were under enemy fire. Well, you would, wouldn't you?
You would.
So the Spanish ships exchanged at least 3 broadsides before running foul of each other and both of them burning.
Wow. So, a victory, but not quite as planned.
Not as planned, but then Keats went on the same night to run the San Antonio aground and capture her.
Right, so you did pretty well that night, really.
Very well indeed, yes.
Well, you scored 8 points with him. Let's see how you do with your general knowledge. 2 minutes starting now. Which bone disease, most often occurring in early childhood, is caused by a deficiency of vitamin D?
Rickets.
Yes, in George Orwell's novel, what was the original name of the farm that was renamed Animal Farm?
Pass.
In gardening, what name is given to vegetable matter that's been collected and allowed to decompose over time in order to be incorporated into the soil to enrich it?
Humus.
Yes, or compost. Which 19th century cattle trail ran from south of San Antonio in Texas across Oklahoma to Abilene in Kansas?
Santa Fe.
The Chisholm Trail. Who was elected Secretary of the Transport and General Workers Union in June 2003 in succession to Bill Morris?
Pass.
Which Dutch landscape painter's most celebrated work, The Avenue at Middle Harness, is held by the National Gallery in London?
Van Eyck.
Hobbema. What was added to the wartime issue of British banknotes in 1940 to help prevent forgery and became a permanent feature in 1948?
Linen.
Metal strips. What name literally meaning stuffed thing is given to the Greek dish of vine leaves with a savoury filling?
Pass.
Which group's first and only UK #1 hit was Baby Love, which topped the charts in November 1964 for 2 weeks?
Stylistics.
Supremes. Who in 2000 became the first golfer since Denny Shute in 1937 to win the US PGA Championship 2 years running?
Nicklaus.
Tiger Woods. Which author, born in 1881, caused much ill feeling in Britain for his series of wartime broadcasts from Germany during World War II?
William Joyce.
P.G. Wodehouse. Which city in central France that has an oratory built on a cliff overlooking the Alzou Gorge became a place of pilgrimage in the 12th century?
Pass.
Originally shown in 1968, the first episode of which classic BBC comedy series was entitled The Man and the Hour?
Dad's Army.
Dad's Army is correct. You had 4 passes. Rocamadour is that city in central France that I was looking for. The Greek dish of vine leaves is dolmades or dolmas. Tony Woodley was elected Secretary of the Transport and General Workers Union, and before it was Animal Farm, it was Manor Farm. 4 passes. Richard Green, 11 points.
Thank you.
And now Sally Budd, please. Oh, you're Bette Davis, a pretty big star, but quite an unconventional one.
Yes. She never saw herself as a glamorous film star. She saw herself as an actress. That's what she wanted to be. And she felt that to every role she could bring something different, and always did.
And she was a bit stroppy, wasn't she? She wouldn't
She could
be
be
pushed
difficult.
around.
She could be difficult, but I think that she had such a tough upbringing that she knew that the only way she was going to achieve it was to do it on her own. And someone once said that if Bette Davis hadn't become such a successful actress, she would have been probably the first woman president of the United States.
Really?
She was such a fantastic person. She empowered women. Women could look at her on the screen and think that they could become like her.
One of the greats.
Absolutely.
Well, you scored 12 points with her, so let's see how you do with general knowledge. 2 minutes. Which cartoon strip was created by Charles Schulz, who died in 2000, aged 77?
Peanuts.
Correct. Which epithet is applied to people with clerical jobs whose professions require a certain formality of dress?
Blue-collar worker.
White-collar workers. Cut sections from the crystals of which mineral are widely used for frequency control in radios, televisions, and also in clocks and watches?
Crystals.
Quartz. Which term used for the reign of James I also describes the style of furniture and architecture during that period?
Lancastrian.
Jacobean. Which teenage film star who appeared in the first Gidget film married the singer Bobby Darin in 1960?
Sandra Dee.
Yes. Who took over from John Patton as the Secretary of State for Education in July 1994, remaining in the post until the 1997 general election?
Baker.
Gillian Shepherd. In which tennis championship do women compete for the Venus Rosewater dish, a silver gilt copy of the pewter original held in the Louvre?
French Championship.
Wimbledon. Which astronomical body was excommunicated as an instrument of the devil by Pope Calixtus III when it came into view in 1456 during its periodical cycle?
Halley's Comet.
Yes. Libreville is the capital of which former French colony on the west coast of Africa?
Guyana.
Gabon. Which author, a member of a well-known English scientific family, died in Los Angeles on the same day that John F. Kennedy was assassinated in Dallas?
Paul Getty.
Aldous Huxley. Which cephalopod is the world's largest invertebrate?
Glowworm.
Giant squid. Which author created the detectives Diel and Pascoe, who made their first appearance in A Clubbable Woman in 1970?
P.D. James.
Reginald Hill. A Cestrian is a native of which English city?
Chester.
Chester is right. No passes. Sally Budd, 16 points.
Thank you.
And finally, Laura Campbell, please. Oh, a fan of Douglas Adams and of fantasy reenactments. What do you do?
Put simply, we dress up in costume as our characters, acquire some harmless prop weapons, go down to the woods and improvise based on a scenario written by one of us.
Why?
Because it's fun.
Yeah.
Because it's more interesting than sitting and watching television most nights.
Can't argue with that.
Except when Mastermind's on, of course.
Except when Mastermind's on, obviously, yes, I accepted that exception, yeah. So you write the scenario for the thing, and off you go. And
off you go, yes.
do people think you're a bit daft?
I prefer the phrase eccentric.
You have 12 points so far with your knowledge of Douglas Adams. You have to beat 16 points. Let's see if you can do it with your general knowledge, starting now. What name, derived from an Italian word for trouser leg, is given to a pizza which is folded in half before cooking to contain the filling?
Calzone.
Yes. Which series of mountain ranges extends for a distance of about 2,400 kilometres across northwestern Africa from Morocco to Tunisia?
Pass.
What term for an ineffectual person or entity did Edward Heath famously use to describe failing British companies that required government subsidy to survive?
Wet.
Lame ducks. In the Muslim religion, the mihrab is a niche in the wall of a mosque indicating the direction to where?
Mecca.
Correct. In which television comedy series does the Derbyshire town of Hadfield provide the setting for the macabre, stranger-hating village of Royston Vasey?
The League of Gentlemen.
Correct. The bonobo is a pygmy form of which ape found only in lowland rainforests along the south bank of the Congo River?
Chimpanzee.
Correct. Which Mississippi-born novelist followed her best-selling novel The Secret History with The Little Friend, published
Donna
10 years
Tartt.
later?
Donna Tartt,
Donna Tartt. Which Italian term meaning beautiful singing is used for the lyrical style of singing popularised in Italian opera from the 17th until the early 19th century?
Bel canto.
Bel canto. Who replaced John Reid as the Secretary of State for Health in the cabinet reshuffle after the 2005 general election?
Pass.
In the Roman calendar, the Ides fell on which day of the month except in March, May, July and October?
4th.
13th. Which island off the coast of Dorset is the source of the nearest stone to true marble quarried in England?
Pass.
What term is used for children with their own door keys who regularly return home to empty houses?
Latchkey kids.
Yes, the circular skin tents used by nomadic herdsmen in Siberia and Mongolia are generally known by what name of Russian origin?
Yurts.
Yes, the 1989 album Songs for Drella, written by Velvet Underground members Lou Reed and John Cale, was a tribute to which artist with whom the group had collaborated in the mid-60s?
Andy Warhol.
Correct. Which Jamaican-born nurse went to the Crimean War at her own expense to tend the wounded, later becoming a popular figure after the publication of her memoirs?
Florence Nightingale.
Mary Jane Seacole. You had 3 passes. Purbeck is the island off the coast of Dorset that produces that lovely stone. Patricia Hewitt replaced John Reid as Health Secretary. And it's the Atlas Mountains in northwest Africa. 3 passes, but Laura Campbell, you have 20 points. So, at the end of the contest, let's have a look at the scores. In 4th place with 11 points, Richard Green. In 3rd place with 13 points, Andrew Grealey. In 2nd place with 16 points, Sally Budd. In 1st place with 20 points, Laura Campbell. Which means, of course, that she goes through to the 2nd round. Congratulations to her. Do join us next week for more Masterminds. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Tonight, Natural World sheds a bit more light on the wonder and mystery of the elephant island of Sri Lanka. Join BBC 2 at 9. Next, sweet peas and other S's in the A to Z of TV gardening.